My aim has been only one: to help you gain that ultimate clarity so that wherever you are stuck in life, doesn't matter whether it's your relationships, your career, your health, or your financial life, where you're feeling stuck, wherever it is, you get to know the exact action steps that you can take to unlock the next level in your life, because the magic is possible. Hundreds of people have already experienced it. The question is, are you ready to experience the same? So if you're ready, type in yes, I'm ready, so that I also get that exciting energy from you. And I know that yes, you are committed to making this change possible. So if you are feeling that I'm feeling lost in my life right now, I don't know what to do, I don't know what action steps I can take, and I know I have a lot of potential, but for some reason or the other, I'm just not able to take action. So here's the question that I want you to understand, and that I want you to answer for yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your life right now? What is a number that you would give yourself? Would it be a 1 would be like, oh, life is hell, life is very bad, I don't know what to do in my life. And 10 would be like, oh, life is heaven, life is the best thing ever, and I don't need anything else. So for you, what is the number? Write that in the chat box on a scale of 1 to 10. Or if you want, you can write that down in your notepad as well. And here's the reason now I asked you that question. See, there's 3 stages that I want you to understand on the scale. The stage of 1 to 3 number is the stage where life is so bad and life is so messed up and life is so challenging that you don't even need any motivation, you don't need any book, you just take the action on your own to change it, because the pain of living such a miserable life is unbearable. So when we're living in poverty, when we're living with a lot of tough challenges, when we hear the stories of people who reach a breaking point, who reach rock bottom, and then they completely change their lives, well, those people do so because they're at this scale of 1 to 3, where the pain is so unbearable and so challenging. They're like, I would rather die, but I won't live like this. And when that decision happens, things change. Life changes, they take the action. Then they don't need to attend a workshop like this. They don't need to attend a seminar like this. But there's a problem with that. That path involves a lot of excruciating pain. How many of you want to suffer through bankruptcy? How many of you want to go through a crippling health challenge where your life is on the line? How many of you want to have a relationship ending up so badly that it makes you question your entire life and you're like, why am I even living now? No, none of us want to go through that pain. Unfortunately, some of us do. And that's when we're at the 1 to 3 level, and we naturally take action out of survival instinct to change our lives. Otherwise, we won't even live. But that's the scale where we don't really attend workshops like this. We're just like, life is so miserable, I want to change it. Then I'll come to the middle scale at the last, okay? Because that's where 90% of us are. But I want to explain to you the 8 to 10 scale first. When we're at 8 to 10, right? Life's very good. Life is very sorted. Life feels like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted for so long. And so when we have that, we don't worry a lot about the future. We don't worry a lot about the past. There are not a lot of guilt or regrets. Like, yeah, I'm happy and I'm satisfied in my life, and this is exactly where I want to be. And at that level is where 90% of us want to go, but we rarely reach. That's the level we call nirvana. That's the level we call peace and happiness. And it's not just a spiritual term that I'm talking about. What I mean by that is, when you're working every single day, you're probably doing a job, you're doing a business, you're spending time with your family, you're living your life, but it's the best life. It's the most peaceful life. It's the life that you've always desired of. That's 8 to 10. And when we're there, we're like, yeah, this is enough. I don't want anything more. I'm peaceful. I'm happy as I am. And we continue maintaining that. We continue building that. But you want to know where the biggest problem comes? It's in this middle scale of 4, 5, and 6. Because there we learn to do something that neither keeps us happy, but neither keeps us sad. And that is, we learn to satisfice. This is a term. This is satisfaction plus sacrifice equals satisfice. If you want to write this down, you can write it down. So when we are satisficing in life, right, we're like, it's not what I want it to be, but at the same time, I'm comfortable where I am. We won't admit this to ourselves. We won't admit this to other people. We'll say, yeah, I want to grow. Yeah, I want to succeed. But I have this challenge. But I have this problem. But just have to sort out my relationship first. Then I know I'll grow in my career. I just have to sort out this health challenge first. Then I know my home situation will work out. So it's a life that's not fulfilling, but it's also a life that's not at rock bottom. So here we are satisficing, we are somewhat satisfied, but it's it's like this. It's that you know you can do something more, you know you have the potential to do something more, but there's fear, there's doubt, there's worry, there's uncertainty. Like, can I do it? Is it really possible? What if it doesn't work out? And all these different thoughts end up consuming you and end up making you feel that change is too difficult. My life is fine the way it is. But really think about it. Is your life fine the way it is? The challenges that you have right now, the problems that you have right now, yes, you're somewhat able to deal with them, but would you like to continue dealing with the same fights and the same challenges and the same financial struggles and the same career struggles and the same health struggles over and over and over again until the day you die? Is that something that you want? Yes or no? What's your answer? Of course, we don't want that. But can I be honest with you here for a second? Because you're here to transform your life. You're not here to just, listen to a good motivational speech and go away. If that were the case, I would have pumped you up. I would like, yes, you can do it. Just go out there, make things happen. And then I would have ended the call. But I believe I have the right to be honest with you here. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. You say you don't want it. But if you continue living your life at a level of 4, 5, and 6, where you're satisficing and you have this attitude of chalta hai, I'm okay with it. I know it's not what I want it to be, but it's also not that bad. So let me just stick with it, right? That attitude is going to kill you. That attitude is going to make you suffer unnecessarily, where you could have the money but not the happiness, where you could have the relationship of your dreams, but not the connection and intimacy that you want, where you could have the career that you want, but it's like you're putting so much effort there, but you're not getting the things that you want back from it. And life becomes a constant cycle of lack, a constant cycle of struggle, a constant cycle of meri kismat hi kharab hai. Then we end up resorting to this one last line, I have bad luck in my life. Whatever I try to do, something or the other gets messed up. If one area of my life sorts itself out, another building falls down, another challenge comes up. When I finally deal with that challenge, then there's something else, another fire to take care of. And we're just constantly living life in this mode where we are managing life, but we're not living it. How many of you just realized you're guilty of managing your life, but not living your life? We are handling responsibilities for sure. But you're like, is this it? यही करना है पूरी जिंदगी? इसी में फंसे रहना है? इसी cycles में, इसी challenges में, in the same exact problems? Well, you don't want that. But you get stuck there because you're here at this level, 4, 5, 6. And it's the most dangerous place to be in, because you cannot complain to people that my life is bad, because it's not like you're on the streets. But at the same time, you're not happy with it as well. And that also you cannot share with anyone. And so this feels like a very lonely experience. This feels like a very challenging experience. Where you're like, nothing is wrong in my life, but nothing is going right either. How many of you are actually stuck in this middle confusion state? You can't even express it to people the way you wanted to, because to the outside world, your life looks great. Anybody comes to your home as a guest, they're like, wow, you got such good kids, you got a good family, you got a good career, you have this amazing car in your parking and all that stuff. They can see that. But inside, what's going on? None of them can see it. None of them can see that inside fulfillment is not there. Inside happiness is not there. Inside you are struggling. Well, here's the good news. I know it sounds like a very grim picture, but the good news is you are not alone. 90% of people are stuck in this 4, 5, or 6 range, because of which they want to change, but they cannot change. And how do I know this? Well, in the hundreds of coaching sessions that I've done with people from all across the world, from all different backgrounds, the one thing that has been the same is, I know there's more I can unlock from my life, but I don't know how to. And that has come from somebody who's just a college student who graduated, who doesn't have a job yet, who's really struggling, whose parents are supporting him. And he's like, I feel so guilty for not being able to support my parents the way I should have. And he's dealing with those challenges. He's dealing with those problems. And he feels that his life is stuck at a 4 level. He's applying for jobs. He's not getting it. Even if he gets through an interview, he's still struggling. And his relationships are a mess. And all these big challenges are going on in his life. He has the same problem as another person I talked to who drives a Range Rover, lives in a beautiful house, has nothing ever to worry about in her financial life. And yet, life is a mess. I've talked to people who are dealing with the most difficult of health challenges like breathing issues or autoimmune disease that they have or a chronic hereditary problem that they have. And they feel like this is the reason I'm stuck in my life. If I had not had this one disease, I would have been better. But at the same time, I have met people and I've seen people who have the most athletic body ever. You look at them, oh, there go the 6-pack abs. That's how fit the person is. And yet inside, it's a total mess. It's again stuck at a level of 4 or a 5 because on the outside, things are great. But inside, the happiness, the fulfillment, the satisfaction is missing. Each day begins with a feeling of anxiety. Even when there is nothing to worry about, we end up worrying about something or the other. Even if there is no real threat that's blocking us in our lives, we end up feeling that struggle. We end up feeling that emergency mode of living where our mind is constantly in that fight, flight, or freeze zone because we feel so fearful of even the most random things in life. How many of you are realizing that this is exactly the level where you are stuck at? Because you have the knowledge to improve. You have all the information you need. But again, you're not able to implement it because this is the level. You're satisficing. You're not fully satisfied, but you're living a life of struggle and sacrifice along with it. And the worst thing that happens is when we go through this cycle, when we go through these problems, when we go through these challenges, we end up believing this is all there is to life. Yes, we see examples of successful people, we see their stories, but we don't see the struggle behind it. And so we think, oh, they are just a lucky few. I'm a common person. I can only aim this much. I can only dream this much. We say that, right? Dream within your means. Or only look realistic, be realistic. It's given as practical advice to all of us, but that's not practical advice. That's a crash course in satisficing and struggling your way through life. How many more years will you continue to do the same thing? Yeah, you can be realistic, but how many more years will you continue to suffer in the name of being realistic? Because you know inside, there's a high performer. Inside, there's someone who can create so much success in their life that they don't even have to worry about anything. They don't even have to think about anything. But you're not able to become that person. Well, the good news is, and I want you to lean in close for this because there's a super important thing for you to understand. No matter what happens, you can make it big. You can make it happen. And here's why I say that. We think the people who really make it big are the lucky ones, are the ones who got a break, they got an opportunity, or they had a God-given talent from the start, which really made them shine. Well, the truth is, that's not true. That's a lie because every single human being has actually started their journey from the same level where you are right now. In fact, from a level that's actually worse off than where a lot of us are right now. Because if you have a phone, if you have Zoom, if you have a laptop, you are doing pretty well in life compared to 80 to 90% of people who don't even have access to these tools. And these books that you see behind me, right? A lot of them here are biographies of people who have risen from environments that are so harsh, so tough, so demanding, that it would be like, from this place, from this slum, from this backward area, how can someone become so successful? Well, they can, because there's just a few tiny things that they understand that most of us don't. They understand a few key principles to control their inner world. And the moment they control their inner world, their outer world starts to align and effortless success starts happening in their life. Yes, you're getting success, but how much of that success is really effortless? If you ask yourself that question right now, are you really getting effortless success in life, or are you having to struggle for the success that you're getting? What's your answer? Is it effortless or is it full of struggle? Well, if it is full of struggle, you don't have to think that, oh, my life is doomed now, I'm always going to be struggling. No. These books behind me, these stories of amazing people, in fact, the people that I've worked with, they also felt the same. They also felt that their life is full of struggle. And now effortless success is happening in their life like this fast. At the flick of a finger, they can think of things that they want to create and they can take action on it without any fear, without any anxiety, without any worry. Why? Because they've sorted out their inner world. They're not looking for a get rich quick or a get easy success quick solution outside. And that's the number one mistake I want you to stop making from today. Here's what I want you to do. Repeat this with me, say this with me, and believe this with me, because this is going to resonate 100% with you. My inner world controls my outer world. See, the mistake we make is thinking this. People, situations, and problems and challenges in my life are the reason I'm feeling this way, and are the reason I'm struggling, and are the reason my life is stuck at this level. That's not true. The real thing is, because your internal world is aligned in such a way, you are getting the same situations in your outer world where, despite having success, you are still struggling, you're still having lack, you're still having the same problems, you're still having the same challenges. And the biggest proof of this is just this one statement that I've heard many people say, and I'm sure you've also said this statement before. If I just have $1 million, or if I just have 1 crore rupees, or if I just have that salary package, or if I just have this much money in my savings, my life is gonna be sorted. How many of you have made that mistake, thinking that once I have an X amount of money, my life will be sorted, I'll never have to worry about anything else? Well, if you've made that mistake, the truth is, you probably have reached that level, or even if not, you're at a level much better than where you were a few years ago or when you were in college. But tell me this, have your problems disappeared? Have your negative emotions disappeared? Have your challenges disappeared? Has your struggle disappeared despite having more money than before? It hasn't. We make the same mistake in our relationships. When we are single, we think, once I get married or once I have a partner, I'm really going to be the happiest person in the world and I'm really going to have the best life ever. Well, ask people who are married for 10 years and they'll say, once I leave this partner, I'm going to have the happiest life in the world. It's all a cycle. It's all a problem. It's all repeating. The partner or the relationship or the marriage never mattered in the first place. What really mattered and what really created the difference was the inner world that you had.